Hey everybody, I'm Alicia Streger from Fitness Business Freedom Formula and Fit Pro Essentials. I am so grateful that you guys are all here. I am so excited for our training today. The amazing Michelle Smith is so incredible for stepping up. She doesn't normally talk about this stuff at all. She is an online coach. She's absolutely incredible. She's been coaching for a long time, and I'm really excited to bring her on. She's going to break down her step-by-step on how you can start streaming your online coaching sessions to your clients. We're going to keep it super simple. Here's what's happening right now. Everything is progressing super fast, so quickly. It is really going to depend on your ability to take action and move quickly as well. So what we're promoting, and this is what I've been talking to all my coaching clients about, we have to take action fast. And if you're not already streaming your workouts online to your clients, you need to be doing this 5 minutes ago. I don't care if you don't know how to do it. Michelle's going to break it all down for you today and show you how you can get started. But if you want to be successful and get through this, I mean, businesses are getting shut down left and right now, and it's probably just a matter of time. Obviously, don't quote me on this. I have no idea. But until it kind of rolls out across the country, that you won't be able to get into the studio. So what we want to do is make sure that we provide our clients with incredible amount of service, right? We're delivering, we're helping them to stay fit while they're at home. We're giving them the support they need. We're still providing them with that community. And we're keeping their pace up until we are able to get back into the studio. So I know most of you guys are studio owners, or maybe you're even thinking about getting into online coaching, but we need to do this right now. And we need to start doing it as soon as we get off the call. There's a couple resources that I put together for you. One, actually, let me pull it up. It's an email. So if you are a studio owner, even if you're open or closed, it doesn't matter. What we're not using the words, I'm closing my studio, I'm closing the business or anything like that. We're using the word transition. We're transitioning into online coaching right now until we're able to get back into the studio. We have to keep the message positive. We have to keep it exciting. The tech right now that we can use and tap into wasn't available years ago, just 5-6 years ago. So we have an incredible opportunity now, and we have to get our clients excited about it. And when you get this message out properly, your clients are going to be super appreciative. They're going to feel supported. You're not going to take a dip in revenue. It's inevitable a few people are going to want to go on hold. But if you're providing the coaching, the motivation, the accountability, the support while they're home, you're going to see a very minimal drop in attendance, right? And in revenue, which is really important. You have bills to pay. You still have to pay your team. We want to make sure that everything stays as level as possible until we get through this to the other side. And here's another thing, and I know we're going to get into the tech side in a second. I think this is an incredible opportunity for all of you guys to actually grow. I think that we have a responsibility to get out a positive message into the marketplace. So you are a source for education. People are on their computers. They're home right now. They're on their phones. They're not able to get out of the house. They are on Facebook nonstop and on Insta, wherever. So if you're putting out high quality content, you're sharing stories of 103-year-old grandmas that are healing from the coronavirus and they're feeling great right now. We have to share that message of keeping your immune system strong and healthy, and your clients, your followers are going to share that too. It's a great opportunity to get in front of more people. So I want to see everybody still actively putting out great content, still spreading positivity and keeping excited and keeping calm, because we're leaders. We adapt, we overcome, we get through it. We help our community, our team, everybody else around us. So we have a responsibility, you guys. And you guys are obviously here because you care. You're taking action. You're making moves to help everything that's going on right now. So with that, Michelle Smith, thank you so much for hopping on. I just want to make sure, and I know I said I was going to screen share this and I totally forgot, but there's two things that you guys need to see. So let me post this one more time to everyone. So the coronavirus resource page that I put together, let me share this really fast, show you what you need. So where is it? I can't find it right here. Do you guys see that page that I have? Share. Can you guys see right here? Okay, so here's two things. One, the email that I mentioned earlier is here. This is the studio announcement email. The second thing you guys need to see is down here, how to set up your tech for online coaching using Zoom. This is a handout that Michelle put together for you guys. I would download it right now. She's going to use this kind of as a step-by-step as we go through. And in case you forget any of the steps, it's all here for you. She even put some really cool strategies about things that you can do at home and whatnot to use for weights and all of that good stuff. So Michelle, I'm going to let you take it away and go through. If you guys have questions, please write them down. We'll get to questions at the end when Michelle's done going through her little spiel. And then I will probably interject as you go through if something pops up that's relevant to what you're covering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I've been online coaching consistently for the last 3 years, and it's actually one of my favorite formats to do, other than coaching in person with athletes. I love the community. There's something really special about connecting with people online, and you're obviously part of this group, and you probably already feel connected to some of the people in this group, having never met them. And so that part of online training is very, very important, especially if you have people that are otherwise isolated. They can feel like they're part of a family, part of a unit, and that they matter, especially if you take the time to connect with them on a day-to-day basis, like we are right here. So it's that eye contact. I see Alicia, I see Andrew, I see Lita, I see all of you, and I can talk to you directly. So use this as an opportunity to connect with all of those people and create some deeper relationships, because right now everybody's going to be, or most people are going to be, really stressed out. A lot of people don't have a huge amount of coping strategies, and you can be their coping strategy. We all know that when we exercise, it helps us reduce our stress levels. We also know it's just as effective as talk therapy with depression. And so this can help people who are already feeling overwhelmed and now feel even more overwhelmed because of everything closing and all the uncertainty, that you can help lead them. And Alicia said this earlier, this is about you becoming a leader. And if you step into that role and you create this positive feeling around, you know what, it's business as usual. I keep saying to my clients, it's business as usual. We're going to do what we've always done. We're just going to modify it, but take into account everybody's availability. I mean, I'm still running live classes on my current class schedule. So I did my first one this morning, the first official one since we closed our doors, and it was just like normal. There was nothing different about it. It's just I'm not physically there with you. So if you haven't already downloaded that guide, download it. I'm going to talk you through this as we go. I think one of the important things to do is just mention to you that don't stress about this. I know that this is, for some of you, this is a huge shift. You've never done this before, but it is the easiest thing I think I've ever done. It is honestly so easy. Don't overthink it. You don't need any major tech. You don't need anything expensive. So if you're worried about cutting costs right now, I've set my stuff up, and I'm going to turn my camera around to show you how simple you can make this just with the stuff that you already have available. No need to go buying anything out of the ordinary. So the first thing you need is that Zoom account that Alicia mentioned earlier. You can get a free account, but what you'll notice is if you haven't already set up an account, they have severely limited the ability for people to phone in, and it is through audio only because of the sheer number of people that are coming onto these calls. And I think it's just jamming up, whatever it is that it's jamming up, I don't know. So do get, if you have a large audience, do get the paid version. If you have a very small audience in your small boutique, you can probably get away without it. And I did see a question earlier, somebody asked, with the free version, can you record? Yes, you can. And it will record to your hard drive. So you can select where those recordings go. If you have the paid version, you can save everything to a cloud, so you're not jamming up your hard drive. And so that's easily accessible. So the free version, you can hold a Zoom call for up to 40 minutes, but be mindful that that really does mean 40 minutes, and you're cut off. So if you're using the paid version, when you set up, try to set up right when you're about to start the workout. Don't start up and do, hey, how's it going? All the intros and chat, because you're going to lose a lot of workout time. So I've made that mistake in the past, so just be really aware of that. You can do the chit chat in a Facebook Live before you click live on the Zoom, okay? It will cap you at 100 participants. That does include you as well, okay? You're going to need a decent laptop. I do recommend using a laptop, especially if you want to use Zoom and stream it to Facebook at the same time. You can't do that through a cell phone or a tablet, so you do need that. Make sure if you're going to do this, you can just stream straight to Facebook, a Facebook group, and we'll talk about that shortly. Just make sure you've got a good front-facing camera, and I would recommend using the front-facing camera because you can see if you're in shot and you haven't got your head chopped off, your feet aren't chopped off. So you need to practice this in advance, which we'll talk about. Now, one of the things that you can get, I found this really cool thing at the Dollar Tree. This is how cheap you can make this, folks. This is a wide angle camera phone lens. So if you have a camera that doesn't give you as much width as you need for your setup, all you do is clip this on the front of your cell phone and it widens up the camera angle for you, okay? Unless you've already got a wide lens camera angle, so it's $1, you can pick that up. And I saw that last night, so I thought I'd pick that up. I don't plan to use it, but I thought it'd be helpful for you all to see. Make sure you test your internet connection if you're going to do it in your studio. Hopefully you all have great internet connection, or you can do a hotspot from your cell phone carrier. As long as you've got good connection, you'll be good to go. You may need additional lighting. In the studio here, or in my gym here, I've got plenty of overhead lighting. The ideal scenario is if when we go down this document, you'll see I put a couple of pictures in there to show you how to set up your lighting. You might need to buy a kit, like a photographer's lighting kit, especially if you're at home, because our regular lights, like a down light or an up light lamp, will cast shadows behind you and it doesn't look very professional. So you need to make sure that if you're doing this at home and you don't have lots of natural light, try and get yourself a photography lighting kit. I did put a link in there to one on Amazon. It's just one option. You can pick any one you want. You might even be able to find it on Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree or whatever it is that people use. I think Gumtree is in the UK. A lav mic or a headset. I've actually got a wireless headphone set right now, but I do also have a lav mic. Mine is, somebody asked yesterday, mine is called Purple Panda, and it has worked absolutely fine for me. Where is it? Here it is. So it usually a big extension cord. So mine's got a 10-foot extension cord on it, and you'll have an auxiliary jack. I did figure out that on the laptop that I've got, this is why you need to practice, the laptop that I'm using right now, I can't plug my lav mic into, because instead of being a microphone, it becomes a headset. So this is where you need to check and practice before you go live, otherwise people are not going to hear you or you won't hear them. When you're setting up a lav mic, one of the things you want to do is make sure it's about 8 inches away from your face, and don't put it where you've got a zip, because if it rubs on that, you're going to get a heck of a lot of feedback. What I like to do, and I unfortunately wore a dark shirt, so you can't even see what I'm doing here really, but instead of wearing it on the outside of your clothing, especially if you're working out, I usually shove it underneath the top and then clip it around here. And then nobody can see the wires and it's not trailing behind you. You're not going to trip over it as well. Okay, so just a consideration there. Most of them are around 20, 25 bucks and they work really well. You can go to town and spend money on something expensive, or like a desktop microphone like you would see in a studio, a radio station, but not necessary. What else we got? You definitely are going to need something to stand your laptop on. I'm going to show you my really high-tech setup right now. So I've got an external camera on my laptop right now, so I can show you some stuff today. So that's my setup. I've got plyo boxes and my laptop is on top. You can stack your boxes as high as you need to. When I work out, when I do this, I actually stack them a little bit higher, because I like a downward angle, and I talk about that in a little bit. The other thing that you can do is if you're streaming from your phone, then you just need one of these suckers. I've got mirrors in my gym that I stick this suction cup onto. This one did come with, I think this was like $10, and it came with a disc that this suctions to, but it's got the 3M sticky tape on the back, so you can mount it semi-permanently to a position in your studio that works really well. So then you can just stick your phone in there. What else do you need? You need to have your camera on a surface that's about 8 feet away from where you are working out. If you're any closer, your head is going to get cut off, your feet could get cut off if you drop down to the ground, and you don't want to be coming back and forth to the screen to adjust your camera, especially if you're going to be bringing other people in on a streaming service. You want to make sure you don't have to touch your camera at all, okay? Timer. Make sure you've got a separate timer, not on your phone, because if you're streaming from your phone, you're kind of screwed. So make sure you have a separate timer. I like to use, I've got a separate phone that's not even connected to the network. You can use that. The Gym Boss Mini Max is my favorite one, because you can set it up for all sorts of different rounds. So if you haven't already used one of those, get those. I know that some of this is probably like teaching you to suck eggs, but if you've never done this before, or you're not a group fitness coach, this might be a little bit different, okay? Because everybody coaches differently. The other thing I recommend is a shareable music playlist. So avoiding, and I talk about this later on, don't play music while you are doing your workout. The first thing is the legal implications. So there's this thing called sync licensing. If you stream with music, even if you have a music license, you don't have the licensing in order to stream with that music, and you can get, not only can you get your Facebook group shut down, but you just open yourself up to liability. So just don't even do that. There was a huge thing with Peloton recently. You've probably all seen that. Peloton was sued out of the eyeballs because they used music in their programming. So just don't worry about that. The other thing is it's going to drown out your voice, and it's going to make it very, very difficult for people to hear you and you to hear them. So what I do for my clients is I create a playlist. I share that playlist with them in advance and say, okay, we're going to use this playlist today. And then it's another way to make people feel like they're still part of the group and they're still training with you, rather than just whatever they've got on in the background, okay? Any questions so far? Are we good? All right.
We're doing good.
Okay.
Real quick, Andrew said, is that just a clip on your mic?
Which one? On the lav mic? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me pull it up for you. I'll give you a close up. It's just a tiny little clip on there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and these, if you go outside, they'll have these fluffy little things that you stick over the top, and it's supposed to filter out some of the wind and the rustling sound that you would usually get. So if you do your workouts outside, which is the great thing about this, you can do that. And it's different for people to see as well. Oh, before I forget to tell you, on Zoom, when you go in there into your video settings, you can pick a background for your videos. So if you have like a really, I was going to say a rude word then, a messy room behind you, and you don't have space anywhere else, and you have junk everywhere and you want to hide it, you can put a background in. There's one, I think it's the Golden Gate Bridge, and then there's another one that's like a forest view or something. It's really pretty. So you could do that, and it just gives people something to look at as well. So I thought I'd just throw that in there.
That's awesome.
Okay, so ahead of time, you absolutely must practice. Do not even attempt to go live with this until you know everything works. We've got a couple of questions here. Can you list what microphone camera holder you're using so we can buy it? Yeah, so the microphone is called Blue Panda. You can find it on Amazon. But any of those that are similar, just go with one that's got a higher star rating. That's what I did. They're all much of a muchness, honestly. And then I'll find the package. Oh, here we go. I actually got this from Marshall's, because last night I broke my mirror mounted thingy and freaked out and went out at 9:30 last night after the order came down that we had to shut. So that's what I've got.
Awesome.
Okay. But any of those that you can suction on somewhere will do. Okay. So don't overthink it. Just go buy one. You can get one from Walmart and that will work fine. Okay.
We did have a question about what you're using to share a playlist. Are you using Spotify?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Spotify or Pandora, and most people have that, and just make it a public list and share it with them, and then they can play it, and you don't have to worry about music licensing. Just don't even make that consideration.
They're all muted. You're the only one that has audio, kind of like you guys are muted right now. You'd be the only one that has audio and you can talk, and all of your clients are going to be muted. So, and then you can have them, once you start the class, you can say it's time to start your playlist and yada yada. You get the class going. Before the class starts, that's the community building. That's where you can build that relationship and talk to people like we were talking before we started this call. And that is really important, and that's another reason that Michelle was recommending get the pro version, so you have that space before and after the workout to really connect with your clients, because it is more important than ever when you're online to still maintain that relationship and that community feel.
It is, yeah. And I had a client this morning who was, you always have one that you're not really sure how they're going to take things. And this morning, because we spent that time chatting, we chatted a bit after while we were stretching. So you need to take into account that you've got warm up and stretching time in that 40 minutes. That's why the pro version is better. It's like $14.99 US. I think it's $11.99 in the UK. And she loved it. She loved that method. So you might be surprised. Okay. Can you use iTunes? I'm sure you can. Yeah. Just don't play it while you're working out. So get used to working out with no music. You're going to have to motivate yourself like you motivate your clients. But the thing I did this morning is I actually I did a few reps to show them, and then I walked up closer to the screen so I could see what everybody was doing, made some corrections, and then I walked back, and then I did a bit of the workout too. And just a little tip for you to make your clients feel like you're really part of this group: do part of the workout with them, but huff and puff. Even if you don't feel like you need to huff and puff. I did this morning, I did that, oh my God, look at my sweat thing. And it just makes people realize that you're human and this is positive too, okay? Oh, I'm sharing my screen apparently, am I?
Yep.
Or is that you?
Nope.
Oh.
Maybe that was something on here.
Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so practice it to a dummy Facebook group ahead of time. So if you don't already have a Facebook group started, you need to get one done. Everybody should have that already. I created another one that I haven't opened up to the public yet, which is where I'm practicing all of my live streaming. So make sure you get that set up, and it's very, very simple. I put in a couple of directions just to get you started, and then the rest of it is simple from there, okay? You need to, and I'll go into detail in a minute, but these are just overviews. You need to check your camera angle. So when you record it and you live stream it to Facebook, if you have another device that you can use, or just use your laptop for the checking the Facebook group, check your camera angle. So if this is too low for me right now, this isn't a good angle, but it's good for me to talk to you. Because if I stand back here, you have no idea what's going on in the bottom. And if I raise my arms up over my head, my hands are going to be cut out. So you need to practice that camera angle as well and make sure that it's appropriate. So I usually put mine about 6.5 feet up, just because my space and the way my space works. You're going to have to play with this in your space. You might have a different shaped room to me. I have a very narrow but wide room. So that 6.5 feet up, right in the center of my room, works really well for the most part, especially if you're moving about quite a bit, okay? So check that, play it back, have a look at that, but listen to your audio as well. Is your audio clear? I'm hoping sincerely that my audio is coming through clear and there's not too much echo here, but you must make sure that you check that as well, okay? If you're not used to being like a group exercise instructor and you're more of what I'd call a typical coach, which is we walk around and we make sure everybody's okay and we cue and correct and we do all the things we should do, and we don't often do a lot of the workout ourselves, you're going to have to get used to gesturing a lot, especially because you're standing back. If you don't do anything with your arms, it can look really boring. We have people who are very much visually inclined, visual learners, who are going to look and watch every single thing you do. So you've got to make sure that you have got good form with all of these exercises, because it doesn't matter how much you tell them to do something a certain way. If they are a visual learner, they will copy your body language. So if your form is off, they are going to copy that. There are other people that are not even going to watch what you're doing. They're focusing on themselves and they're listening to your words. So if your descriptions are inadequate, then they're going to have a hard time doing the exercise, especially if, you know, you're popping up on a small screen. So one of the things I've always taught my students is, like personal training students, is that you should imagine that the person you're talking to is blind or has their eyes closed. And if you can explain to somebody who has no visual input how to do an exercise and they can do it by your words, then you've done a good job. So you need to combine the two, your movement and your language. Use gestures, make them big, and then get used to speaking, moving, counting reps, counting down time, checking people's form all at the same time, because that's what you're going to be doing. Okay, well, okay, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to move over to the camera. What am I looking for? Just make sure you go through, know how to use Zoom. Okay, it's very, very simple. Because otherwise you're going to be fumbling and it's not going to, you're not going to feel good and you're going to get nervous. Okay. The other thing you need to do is make sure, and I played about with this earlier because it's the first time I've actually done it this way. But if you have like a studio mic that you can put on, I played with this earlier and it actually worked out quite well because I've got an echoey space. So if you have one of these, I think I spent about $50 on this, and I have a separate Bluetooth speaker, which is right there. And that's right next to my laptop. So my laptop can pick up the sound from the speaker. Then this might help you as well. But what you're going to have to do is make sure that you're not doing that really pervy, heavy breathing into your mic as you start breathing heavy because you're doing the workout, because it's going to sound really freaky. So get used to that. Make sure you're not doing any of this like rustling stuff while you're talking. You've got to get used to being very deliberate with your actions. And again, if you're a group exercise instructor, you know all this stuff already, okay? But for those that haven't done it before, just be careful that you're not doing your into the microphone, because you're going to really put people off, okay? All right, what else we got here, folks? Yeah, watch your clients. Use your timer, watch your screen for questions, feedback. The chances are most people aren't going to know where the chat thing is, and they're going to be too busy working out. They're not going to do it anyway. So every now and then what I'll do is either during the round, if it looks like somebody's stuck, or during the rest period, I unmute everybody. Anybody got any questions? How are we all doing? And then you can always remute them again after, okay? Before you do any of this, you need to make sure that you teach your clients, who not everybody is going to be tech savvy, how to set up Zoom. So I do a live video to my Facebook group, and I share my screen and I show them, okay, this is how you download it. Don't assume that people are going to know to click the run button, or they're going to know to look for that separate icon that pops up on your screen. So do the dummies guide to opening Zoom. If you have it password protected, that is an option on the pro version. Make sure you share the password with them. This morning I added people into a waiting room and forgot to actually add them to the call. So you have to remember to do that as well, okay? So make sure you show them that. You can always share a document, but just refer people to the live video. Let's have a look. We got any questions so far? You use staff members to actively do the classes you coach and correct? I do it all, and I think that's fine. I think if you want to have a second person there, that absolutely works. I don't see why not. It's almost like you're hosting. Is that what you're asking? That was Trisha. Was that Trisha? No, that was Andrew. Okay, Trisha. Mention use a laptop to use Zoom and stream, and then you show us iPhone suction holders. Can we use iPhone to video? when would we use which. If you are streaming straight to a Facebook group and you're not worried about having a Zoom recording, then you can use your iPhone, that's fine. I tend to use 2 devices as a backup, just in case something happens and I get a blue screen on my laptop, then I've got a backup with my other recording as well, okay? How many can join in on a Zoom session? Up to 100 on the free version. And then, Alicia, is it unlimited on the Pro?
It is unlimited on the Pro, but clearly Zoom is having some problems right now because I have 500 participants and it only let in 100.
No way!
And Zoom is a little bit glitchy right now because everybody in the world is using it. So just be patient with it. Obviously, we're going to be posting this recording, but yes, unlimited. Oh, you can do the up to 500 or the up to 1,000 with the participants, but unlimited minutes if you have the Pro.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
What other questions have we got? Will I be able to see all the participants? Yeah, I'm going to turn my camera around. Oh, the other thing I didn't put on that list, I would recommend an external camera to your laptop. Not all not all webcams built into the laptop are that great. So I've got, this is a very, very old, seriously, this Logitech camera is probably about 16 years old and it works just fine. So I'm going to show you my screen here right now. So this is what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So what you'll do here is if you scroll, hang on, let me get my angle. I think this is flipped. You see that little blue arrow there? If I click that, then my screen is going to change and I can see all the pages of people that are there. So we've got like 3 pages of participants that are showing up there. So that's how you would look at those. You can go to, up the top here, you can go to speaker view. So you just see yourself. And I'm going to turn that off very rapidly. There we go. So yeah, it's really easy to use.
I just want to show you guys something, if you guys can see my screen here. So this is and how you would change the camera view. I want to show you the difference and why you do need the upgraded camera, because right now I have a Logitech also, and they're pretty affordable, but I'm going to change my video to the one, and I've got like a pretty awesome Mac computer. This is the one that comes with my computer. So you guys can see me now, and then here. This is the one that comes with the computer. That's a huge difference. And I have good lighting. I've got a lot of natural light. So this is why it's so important too, I do agree, and having the upgraded camera, if it's in your budget to do that, and I'll put the other one back on now so you can see. But that's the difference. It's a big difference. And since everybody's going to be watching you, like, I do believe the quality of the video should be as good as you can make it within your budget.
Yeah, and because you're going to potentially be live streaming a lot, the less post video editing you have to do, the better, because you're going to have to pay somebody to do that, because you may or may not have the time or the skills to do it. So yeah, it's really important. All right, what have we got here? Okay, as a group ex-instructor who is used to cueing and moving to the beat, how are you doing? That's a really great question. So you may need to look at a different kind of streaming service. So there is one called FitGrid. There's one called Forte as well. You might need to talk with them and find out how to do that, because if you need music because you are Group X based, you might have to go a different route. What I do is, I mean, I've got classes that I've used music to. I've just changed up the formatting. You know, you could always get everybody to sync their playlist and start at the same time. So you'll be roughly on time with the beat, and you could have your own, like, have an earphone in, just one earphone in yourself, so that you can hear the beat if you need to do that. That's a possibility. Otherwise, you're going to have to look at this sync licensing, and then just expect to have to pay out quite a bit of money in order to do that. So the least you can use the music, the better. I go with reps or time. It's just the easiest thing to do, but you're going to have to do a little bit more digging on that one, I think. All right, I'm going to keep going and then come back to the questions, because there's a lot of them flying through.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Real quick, this is a really great question, Danielle. I'm so glad you brought this up. Insurance. If you guys are studio owners or coaches, make sure you call your insurance company and that you're covered for online coaching. Super important. soon as we get off this call, call your insurance company if you don't have your policy and you don't know for sure. And then aside from that, I want you to go out onto that coronavirus resource page, because Amy Colati from last week when we did the coaching, an attorney, she shared her waiver of liability for online coaches. So go on, download that, update that for your business, get it approved by a lawyer if you need to do that, and then get it out there. Get your clients and whoever's going to be online streaming for you to sign it before they participate, because you want to make sure you're just protected legally from that side of things also.
Yep.
Good question.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Oh, where am I? Hang on. Let's have a look. Cost for an external camera? I don't know. They run anywhere from like $20 up to probably like $80, $90. So you could go with a middle of the road camera. And I mean, if you've got an older, I don't know if anybody's still got an older PC, but I still have my old PC, and this was a camera that came with it and it works just fine. So I don't think you need to spend a lot of money with that. All right. Let me come back to that document. Give me a second. Here we go. Okie dokie. Yeah, so create your playlist ahead of time, share it with them, and like I said, you can always get everybody to sync their music at the same time if you need to use that. We've already talked about not using. Oh, okay, so simply when you are planning out your sessions, it sounds obvious, but it's not always obvious that you're no longer in a studio. So you've got to take into consideration the space that your clients have available to them. So you could put a questionnaire out to all of your clients. Okay, tell me how much safe space you have where you don't have things that can fall on you or you can knock into, because you need to be very explicit about that so people aren't like bumping into the bookcase and something falls on them. You know, you've got to do your part too. What equipment do they have available? Some people are going to have basically a home gym already set up, and others aren't going to have a lot. So I put in here some examples of things that you can use or get your clients to use. So hardback books to prop the hands on, to put the feet on, to use as a very small step. Those work really well. You can use hardback books instead of yoga blocks or instead of weighted balls. You know, if you're doing ab exercise and you're having them move something, a hardback book works really well. If they got stairs near them that they can use when they're stretching or to step up on. You might have to even go as far as saying, if you've got carpet on your stairs, make sure you're wearing shoes and you don't do it in your socks. You know, all these things that we don't necessarily think about, we think are very simple, but they're not obvious to everybody. Backpacks. Have they got kids' backpacks that they can stuff books in, or they can put tins of cans of stuff in, so they can use it for bicep curls or presses? It's going to be a similar hand grip to a kettlebell or a dumbbell. So you can use that. The other thing that you can do, and I've got some little props with me, is you could go to the dollar store or the Dollar Tree, and right now they have these really cute little Easter baskets. Well, I'm going to load those with some stuff and I'm going to use those for working out, right? So you can also get people's kids involved in this as well. Even things like a laundry basket. You stick a small child or a pet in there, you can use those for drags and things like that. So you can help people to feel better about the situation, that they're all at home, get them involved with their pets and their kiddos. You can get these tiny little balls from Dollar Tree and you can give them to your clients. They can squeeze them between their knees or they can press them between their hands, whatever they need to do. There's a bunch of stuff that you can use there. Soccer balls, I use paper plates all the time. So I'd grabbed a load of paper plates from Domino's Pizza, and it makes everybody laugh every time I bring out the pizza plates for them to do the workouts on. So use things like that. Socks on wooden flooring for sliders. You know, just, you can get really creative and it's kind of fun for people. The other thing to consider, and you have to be mindful of the legalities of this, is if you can loan equipment to some of your clients. Especially, I know that somebody mentioned, what do we do with our heavy lifters? I have a few women in here who are heavy lifters. You know what? This is a deload period. What you're going to do is you're going to give them a break from the heavy loading and the loading on their joints. You're going to go into a deload period. You're going to give them a new opportunity to try something different. Maybe you're going to do some HIIT strength. This is where you're going to have to get your programming prowess out. Look up HIIT strength training if you've never done that before. Dos Remedios, he is he's great for HIIT strength training. He's a sports performance coach. Look up his stuff. There are loads of resources out there, but you might be able to loan some equipment, some heavy dumbbells to people who don't necessarily want to purchase that as well. I'm doing that for a couple of my clients. Okay. Alrighty. Are you requiring signed waivers of liability and registration? Yes. Alicia's already said that. You can do a DocuSign. You'd have to pay for that service. You can do that. I have it when people start with me. That goes into, I use Zen Planner, so that will go into there. It's a document they sign and they can scan it back to you. That works as well. Somebody says they love HIIT Strength. Me too. It's one of my favorites. Yes, and I am actually still getting my clients to sign up for classes through Zen Planner, because then I know who I'm planning for. So you don't have to stop using your provider. I know a lot of people use MindBody. There's loads of stuff out there. You can still do that. And actually FitGrid that I mentioned earlier, FitGrid allow you to, or they sync with MindBody. So when people sign up for your classes, they can still use their class pack or pay per class. And then FitGrid sends them an email with their registration info on how to access the live stream. So you can still use that and you can still track all of your attendances that way as well. Okay. All right. Should we get into how you actually do this now? I think that might be good. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Can I share, Alicia, can I share my screen on here with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's think, how do I do that?
The bottom, there's a little green button.
Oh
and
yeah, there it is.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. All right, so the first thing that you are going to need to do is open up your Facebook group. Oh, hang on. There we go. I will share it in just a second when I get the right thing open.
And before you show them where you're clicking on Zoom, I don't know if you can share the Zoom window. Oh, I guess you can share your desktop view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to enable the setting inside of Zoom. Are you going to go through that?
For Facebook or?
Oh, so to stream from Zoom to Facebook? Is this what you're going to cover?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to cover now.
Okay, yep. I'll grab that setting page where you need to adjust the settings.
So first thing you need to do is open Zoom and log in. I'm going to share my screen now. Where is it? There we go. There we go. You're just going to see my screen here. Okay. So if you open up Zoom and then you're going to go to host a meeting, see that with video on? That's the first place you'll need to go here. So this is just for your practice run, okay, because you can schedule, there's information on how to schedule all of that. Oh, I've got to sign in. It's going to make me sign in again. So I just sign in with Facebook because it's easier for me. And then, okay, so this is where you've got to show people how to do this because they're going to get a pop-up. You can see I've got the pro account here. And then, hang on, here we go. So is there, hang on, return to meeting. Let me go. I don't know if it's going to allow me to open up too because I'm already in a call. That's the thing. That might be the problem here.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to launch a Zoom while you're
Yeah. So your Zoom will pop up, okay? So if you follow along with the document, I actually put screenshots in there for you so that you can see this stuff. So you'll open up Zoom, and then if you are on a Windows laptop and you can open Chrome, then you need to open Chrome in order to live stream to Facebook. You cannot live stream to Facebook and share your screen in Firefox or Internet Explorer. They're not supported browsers, so you need to make sure you've got Chrome. I don't know about Mac because I don't have a Mac. I don't know if you know about that, Alicia, if you can stream from Safari.
I don't know. I always stream from Chrome as well for my Mac.
Yeah. So if you stream from Chrome, then that's going to be a lot easier. Let me see if I can just move this screen here. I've got a really funky setup on my laptop right now. Maybe, no, hang on a second. It says you
need to stream from Chrome from Mac also.
Yeah.
Chrome's just a great browser. Also for Canva, to share Canva templates, it has to be done on Chrome. We found that out recently. So
yeah,
just make sure you have a Chrome extension. It's free. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna bring you back on with a screen share. There we go. Okay, so when you open up Chrome, you're going to go into your Facebook group that you already have here. Is that looking like a black screen to you?
It's your Facebook. Yeah, it hasn't fully loaded yet.
It's not, is it? So one of the things with Chrome right now, probably because a lot of people are doing this, Chrome just seems to be really slow at the moment. But I'm going to use my cursor and then hopefully you can see. This would be your Facebook group in the background. You can see I've got messages popping up. Oh, see, this is like live stream technical stuff. This is why you practiced before, right? And I practiced and practiced. Let me stop the share. I'm going to reload Zoom. Alicia, do you, while I'm fiddling about with this, do you want to read out some of the questions and we can go through those?
Yeah, sure. In fact, I really want to go through the settings on Zoom, and I could pull up my Zoom too if you want to do that. But just, I know you were going to go into how to live stream. Do you guys, you probably don't have this option. Actually, I'm going to share my desktop right now. So let me show you guys this, because I think you'll be able to see what you're trying to do here. Where is share screen? I'm going to share my whole desktop. You guys are going to see your faces, so hang tight with me for a second. Can you guys see this here? Oh, it took the Zoom out of the way. I can't show you anymore. It got rid of all of our faces, of course. Okay, so while I got this up, let me just show you here. So in order to enable, you have to change the settings inside of your Zoom account to be able to allow yourself to live stream to your Facebook group. And I posted in the chat, I posted this link for this page because this is where you're gonna do it. So you're gonna come to this link and then you're gonna honestly just click it one at a time. You have to enable it at the account level and at the group level and at the user level, depending on if you have the free or the pro edition. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna click account level, and these are the settings that you're gonna need to have. And I'm not signed in on this, so it doesn't take me to that page, but if you are signed into your Zoom account, you would just click it and it would open up that setting in your Zoom account. And then you just make sure that you're allowing live streams to Facebook here. And then when you come down to group management, oh, it did open up. Look, it opened. I don't have any groups in here. I don't know what's happening on this particular one. But let's see here if it goes to account settings. It does. This is what you guys need. So when you're going to come down here, do you see where it'll say live stream somewhere? Do you happen to see it? It's somewhere. There's a lot of settings, you guys, but you're looking for this one. Allow live streaming in the meetings, and you got to make sure that your Facebook is checked. And then you're going to do it at the group level and at the user level. Follow these instructions, and that will allow when you're on. I'm going to stop the share. At the bottom, you see where it says chat, share screen. To the right, once you've enabled those settings, you'll see 3 dots. And it'll say more. You're going to click the more, and then you'll go live on Facebook, follow the prompts to pick the group, and then you'll be able to live stream right into that group.
Yep.
Did that make sense? Okay.
Cool. All right. So now we know how to do all of that. Let's see if I can pop you back to Chrome. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. I think we are there. Okay, so what you'll need to do, you can see this is my Facebook page right now. When you are going to share your screen, so I created a new group, so you're going to see all of my behind here. So you'll click into your group and then make sure again that this is in Chrome. And then when it eventually loads, there we go. This was me fiddling about earlier, practicing, making sure that my mic worked. And I've got a couple of those in here. There was one of me yesterday trying to figure out camera angles. So in here, what you'll do is up the top, you'll click on live video. And then this is different on Chrome. So what you'll see is this pops up. It's trying to access your camera and your mic. And then when it decides to load, here I am. Then over on this side here, you'll see you can select your camera settings. So I can go with my external camera here, and Alicia showed you earlier the difference that hers makes in terms of the quality. You can change the default microphone. So right now, I could go through my camera or my laptop. If you've got an extra device set up, it will allow you to do that. And what you'll do is when you're ready to roll, you'll click the share screen button. So if I click share screen now, then what you'll see here is you can share your entire screen, which I don't recommend you do, or you can share by application window. So when you do that, then what you would look for is your Zoom call. Now, I'm not going to be able to actually show you because I'm on the Zoom and showing you Zoom, which is really unfortunate. But here, this is where you would go. You would click on this and then click share. Okay, so then what that's going to do, and it's saying here, I'm already in another meeting, I'd have to leave this one, but that's what you would do. And then what you would see here, where I see all of these dialog boxes, is you would see your face looking back at you from Zoom. Okay, so now you're ready to go. But remember that you're not actually live streaming yet. You're not live streaming to Facebook until you click this go live button down in the corner. Okay, so if you start your Zoom video call, but you haven't clicked there, you're only getting Zoom. Okay, so what you'll then do is you'll go back to, no, I don't want to leave and join. So I'm going to cancel that out. And then let's close this down. Can you all still see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So then you're going to go back to Zoom. So if I just bring up our current call, I'm going to pretend that this is the one that we are going to be using. Hang on. Oh, Lordy. There we go. Technical difficulties. All right, hang on. Just trying to get my full screen again, folks. And it won't let me. All right, I don't know what I've done with the view here, but down the bottom, you'll know where you can mute yourself and unmute yourself. It will say to start meeting. So click start meeting, make sure your recording button is on, then go back to Facebook. And then when you get into Facebook on Google Chrome, you're going to hit that go live button at the bottom here, and then you're streaming. That is literally it. It's so simple. When you've finished doing it, I close Facebook first, then I go back to Zoom, and then in the bottom right hand of your screen, it will say end meeting. You can end the meeting, and then don't exit out of the video. Whatever you do when you exit out, it will bring up another dialog box that it will say converting video. If you cancel that, you're going to lose your whole live stream. So wait for that to do its thing. It will work in the background, and then it's going to save it to wherever you want to save it. You may get another dialog box that pops up, and you can choose where to save it. This is not going to let me show you how that works there. But can you see up here? It will say stop. It says like stop share here. If I were to do that, then obviously my screen sharing would stop. But you're going to have another button down here that will allow you to stop the recording. So I'm going to stop my share there, and it's going to let me come back. Okay, did that make sense?
Did that make sense, you guys? Thumbs up, kinda. Michelle, is this step-by-step in that?
It is.
Okay.
It is. So let me do a quick run over, okay? Because it's difficult. I can't start a live I can't
Sure.
start a Zoom while I'm on a Zoom.
Sure.
So open up Chrome, open up your Facebook group, click on the live video link, okay? Make sure you click start screen share. Go into Zoom, and then you're going to start your recording on Zoom. Okay, so back in Facebook, after you've clicked share screen, it's going to pop up. You're going to click applications. You'll select the Zoom window that you've already started streaming from. You go back into Zoom. Make sure that your video is there. And I think, are you able to? I don't think you're able to.
I just showed it here. So yeah, this is
perfect.
exactly the steps that you're going through, right?
Yeah.
Yep, so you guys, Michelle took screenshots, and everything is right here for you in case you get lost or can't remember the setup here.
So that setup there was just showing differences in cameras as well. So once again, go into Chrome, open your Facebook, start a live video, click share screen. You're going to click on the application tab, and you're going to click on that Zoom call that you've already opened up. When you've done that, you can click go live, go back to your Zoom, click start recording, and then you're good to go. It's really that simple. If you don't want to record to Zoom and you're not worried about that, you can just hit live stream and do your workout live stream to Facebook. It's really, really simple. So don't overthink it. And I think with all of those issues there, I probably made it sound way more complicated than it is. So I'm sorry about that.
Michelle, have you gone through where you stream straight from Zoom and you click the go and then just integrate right into your Facebook Live?
No.
Do you not recommend that option?
I just haven't done it. This is just, I've gotten into a pattern.
Got it.
The way that I've done it. And
so
it's just worked well.
There's a second option that you can use, and this is actually how I go live in Facebook groups. Now, that's a perfectly great option too, so I just want you to know that there's an alternative. So the settings that I showed you earlier, that will enable you to live stream from your Zoom account. I don't even go, I have Facebook open up in a separate window when I do that. But what I do is once I've enabled the settings, now my Zoom account is connected to my Facebook account. You've allowed that to happen. And then at the bottom, see where it says, you know, share, chat. There's going to be 3 buttons that say more. I click that, and then it allows me to go live on Facebook. When I click live on Facebook, it pops up, do I want to go live on my personal profile? Do I want to go live on a page? Do I want to pick a group? I type in the name of the group, pick the group, and it automatically connects. And then it opens up with the same as if you were going to go live. What do you want to call it? And do you want a description and blah, blah, blah. And then that's how I've done it. And so it's either way, you'll be able to get it done. And so just
that's only in Pro though. Just be aware that you can only stream
in Pro. Got it.
That's why it sounds a bit convoluted, because you can't Zoom straight from a free account. So you have to go through the second one and share your screen through Chrome if you have the free account. But yes,
that's another reason to upgrade to Pro.
Yeah, and then it's way easier.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, can we show them the settings that you use and inside the Zoom account, what that looks like?
For the, this is for the free account?
For the free, yes, and I have the Pro, and I'm happy to.
Yeah, and I've got Pro now, so I screenshotted from a free account. If you go, I wonder if I can still show you, because this is a Pro one. Let's have a look. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? The settings are actually in that document that show you, because it's going to look different for me here. So let me pull up, and I'm going to share my screen again in a second.
Perfect.
Okay.
While you're doing that, somebody asked if you can stream to a smart TV. Like if the client can watch on a smart TV? Let's see here. If you can stream through our smart TV. Have you ever done that, Michelle?
I haven't, no, because I'm always at my studio or in my office, so I have not done that. That's a really great question.
Your clients can watch at home on their TV.
Yeah, they can just use their HD connector and stick it on their phone, and I've had clients that have done that in the past.
Yep, so they'll either go through their phone or right through their computer. They'll connect an HDMI cable right into the back of their TV, and then it'll show. And that's awesome for them to be able to watch you on the big screen.
Yeah. All right. I think I've got, here we go. So let's share the screen. There we go. All right. Minimize you. All right, so when this is a free account version. So when you go into your settings, this is just your basic ones to set up. You're not really going to see an awful lot more than this. But when you go in to set up a meeting, and this was through the schedule meeting piece, when you go into the settings and you scroll down, you'll see the video. Make sure the host video and participant video are on. Otherwise, you're going to have to fight with stuff individually on the call to do it, and this just does it automatically for you. On audio, I've clicked both. but right now they're only allowing you on the free version to connect via computer audio. But just as a fail-safe, just click both from there. The meeting options, you can enable the join before host. So that would basically put people into the Zoom call before you get there, so they can all chat together before you even come in. And if you don't want to do that, just make sure it's unclicked. I always mute people on entry, and I think, Alicia, you mentioned that earlier, and then you can unmute everybody or unmute people individually. If you enable a waiting room, it just basically tells them that it's about to start, like, don't go away, we haven't forgotten about you, and then you can add them. I don't recommend doing that though, because you might start the live Zoom and you forget to add people to the call. And then this one here is what you're going to want to make sure you've got checked, which is record the meeting automatically on the computer. And then, like I mentioned earlier, once you have finished your screen sharing or finished your call, then you can choose where to save that as well. Okay. So this is basically what you would see at the side for your meetings, and this is the link here that you're going to share with your clients. So you would just copy that invitation and send it to them, and then they would be able to access the meeting through there. So if there's really not a need to go into too many of the settings, because if you've got the free version, you're not going to be able to use half of them anyway. So just keep it really, really simple. Make sure that your video's on, you're not muted, your clients can get in, and you share that link with them.
Amazing. Someone asked about, do you need to stream both on Zoom and in Facebook at the same time?
No, if you just want to do these and edit your videos after and make them fancy and put them on a membership site, you can just record them in your own time on Zoom. And if you're going to do that, you don't even have to use Zoom. I've used my phone, I record them, I upload them to my laptop, edit them, chuck them in the membership site. So there isn't one way to do this. There isn't one right way. There's lots of different ways. It's going to be the way that's easiest and the quickest for you.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And also, if you do stream multiple classes a day or just one or two, and then people can go back and do whatever they want.
I stream all of my classes on my current schedule. So I have the same class at 5 a.m., the same class at 4:30 p.m. That is exactly the same. I'm just going to do the same thing with a different crowd, and I'm still going to record it and add it to the membership site, because people are used to working out with the same people. And so if they've suddenly got to watch people that they don't usually work out with on screen, they may not feel as engaged. So at least if they see some familiar faces, you've got that option there too.
And here's what I've been recommending to all of my coaching clients is, if you have a class on the schedule, stream that class or that same workout time live, even if you don't have the attendance that you normally have, because what we're trying to do is keep revenue consistent. If you're not offering class times, even though their schedules have changed, you don't want to give them any reason to say, hey, you know, you're not offering the class time that I can't make anymore. So you want to keep your class schedule consistent, especially for the first week, 10 days that you're doing this and you're transitioning into the online coaching, and then play it by ear. If you find that everybody's home and everybody's showing up to the 9 and not the 10, then you can consolidate. But for the first week, week and a half, 2 weeks, keep your schedule the exact same, so there's as little change for your clients as possible.
Yeah. And that, even if you're the only one on Zoom, still record it, because you're going to need that down the line. If you decide to go fully online at some point or do a lot more hybrid work, you don't have to do all of the work all over again. And it's actually easier if it's just you, and then you're not watching other people working out as well. You can use that for so many different purposes, even on, social media clips as well. So use that opportunity to do that. Do I keep my online session length the same as in person? Yes, I do. So I have 50-minute classes. They're 50 minutes on Zoom. 30-minute classes are 30 minutes on Zoom as well. Yeah. What else? Thinking I will tell people to join my Zoom meeting and not worry about sharing on Facebook. Yeah, absolutely. I did that this morning. I didn't live stream to Facebook. I just did it on Zoom because I'm going to post it separately. Set up an online membership site. Can the cloud videos that are saved in Pro version be embedded onto a website? I tend to save. I'm a bit finicky. I don't trust just the cloud, and I don't trust just my laptop. So I always make a backup and I'll download them, and then I can just I can upload them. If you're you want to embed stuff, I would recommend using Vimeo, because you can protect that. If you use YouTube, your product and your classes are not protected. Anyone can find them and use them. So if you want to protect your stuff, then I would use Vimeo, and then people can't download your videos, and they can only use them where you put them. Okay.
If you're storing only in Zoom, it gets expensive quickly. You only have a certain amount of storage, and obviously when you're streaming classes, it's going to add up quickly. So just be mindful that and I always recommend automatically, if you have the pro version storing on a Zoom cloud, then you can download the recording afterwards and then put it wherever you want. But that's always a perfect backup. In fact, I've got Adrienne, my assistant, on here. So for like your most important ones, she's on there downloading to her computer as well. And like you said, Michelle, you've got other devices that are on downloading. Like, it's always good to have backups, especially right now with Zoom being maybe a little bit glitchy. I've been using Zoom for years, and I've never had any problems with it up until this week.
Yeah. And then you've always got a backup. So if Zoom is down for some reason, or maybe your internet connection is down, you're not going to miss out, because you can direct people to a live Facebook stream, or you can just post one of the videos from your membership site. So you've always got that option as well. Where are we? What membership program are you using? I've got two. So I built out one a couple of years ago in WordPress. And I also have one in ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is by far the easiest thing I've ever used in my life for membership sites. It works really well. And then Kajabi is another really good one as well that you can use. I'm not sure which one you use, Alicia.
Right now, we've actually built a relationship with Onboard Me, and that's a really great place. But any place that you're already using, don't create more tech work for yourself. Use what's the easiest for you to use. If it's Onboard Me, if you're already in ClickFunnels, wherever, just speed to implementation here is key. So don't overthink it. Just get something up, and then you can play with it and make it even better later on.
Yeah. Somebody asked if they can use royalty-free music that they purchased. If it's free for commercial use, I believe so. Facebook also have some music that you can use for live stream without issues. You're not necessarily going to get what you want, but that's a good option if you feel like you really can't do without it. One of the things that I started to do so that I wasn't nervous is, and I wrote this in the little guide, is I pretend I'm talking to my twin sister. I laugh at my own crappy jokes, and I talk to myself, and then it just helps calm you down as well. But don't try to be really polished. This is another thing I want to tell you. Don't try to be somebody you're not. If you joke around with your clients, continue to joke around with your clients. That's why they come to you. They like you. They don't want somebody who's stiff as a board and worried about messing up their lines. Just enjoy it. And if you make gaffes, even better. If you fall over, even better. It really doesn't matter. It just shows that you're human. So don't worry about that. Do I have a sample session you can see? I do. I can share one. I actually recorded one yesterday because I wanted to show you what the problem with crappy audio would be. So I'm gonna share my screen. And where is it? Here it is. There we go. So I did this from my laptop camera without an external camera, without my Logitech camera, and I did it just from the laptop audio. So hang on, let me minimize this so I can share the screen, and you will see how bad it is. There we go. Can you all see that? All right. So I'm going to play this now.
We might have to just post the link to it, because anytime you're on Zoom and you're trying to do kind of video like this, it's slow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll post a little snippet then, but the audio is really crackly, and it sounds, you know, do you remember when you used to have dial-up and you were trying to talk to somebody and it sounds robotic? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the old AOL as you're trying to dial up. It's really, really rough. So I'll post that, and the video's crappy and the lighting's crappy. So you don't want that. Like, you don't want that. So make
I
sure that you check that.
wonder how many people in here use dial-up AOL.
I'm showing my age now, aren't I?
I love it. I totally remember getting on the computer or signing on and then going upstairs, making a sandwich, coming back. I'm like, not online yet.
5 minutes. Yeah. Oh my God, those are the days, right? Before all of this stuff. Yeah. Where have we got? Somebody asked, Alicia, what do you need the onboard me for? And
Oh,
that's
basically you can use it to double as a membership site too for your clients. So like ClickFunnels, Kajabi, any of them will work, to be honest. So whatever you're comfortable using, go with that. And then you can worry about a better option later if you want to move it to something different.
the other thing you can do, another option, if you have webinar software, you can use webinar software. I have Webinar Jam, and they're really good. I mean, they're expensive. You're going to have to sort of pay through the nose on that one. But Webinar Jam works really, really well. And then you can even use it as a lead magnet, and have rolling replays. You know, people select the time that they want to come in, and you can have a sample workout as a lead magnet for them to come in. So think about using webinar software as well if you are not convinced on, you know, streaming and Zoom as well. That's always a good option.
Love it. All right, Donna asked, she has a spinning class that can't be on Zoom. Should I add a different class in that time spot? Yes, I probably would, because I know that spinning is a big part of what you do. So yeah, I would give those people like a specific workout for people who like to spin, and create a workout just for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody asked about what S3 is. That's an Amazon storage folder. It's a bit like Vimeo, and I use Amazon S3 as well. You can use that to host all of your videos, and then you can link directly from there to whatever membership site you have. What else is there?
I'll ask if there's a better external camera option. Yep, we covered that earlier. Both of us actually use a Logitech camera. But you can get them pretty affordably, I believe under $100 on Amazon, which Amazon right now is hiring 100,000 people, by the way, because they need to fulfill extra orders. So there are companies that are growing right now. Let's see. Do you use virtual whiteboard?
I haven't.
Okay, I haven't either. Let's see. I think we got to everybody. You guys, I know that we had a ton of questions. So if we didn't get to your question, just go ahead and write it back in the chat. Again, suggested insurance carrier. Yes. I've recommended 2, and I'll actually post them and their contact information. One is through a State Farm, actually, and the other, I think he's the insurance guy. So a lot of my clients use both of those. So I'll just post the contact information. You can reach out and see if you get a good quote. Not finding the link of the document. That's weird. If you guys go to the coronavirus page, can anybody let me know if they see it popping up on there? I'll put it again in here as a file. So let me add it in here really fast. Okay. So there's a link, and then after that's done, I'll add the liability waiver as well. All right. What questions? Michelle, I think you covered just about everything, right?
I think so. Sorry for the little technical glitches there. I forgot the fact that I can't open up 2 Zoom calls at the same time. But there's screenshots in that document. If you're still like, what the heck was that chick talking about? Have a look at the screenshots in there. It's really simple. But remember that, like Alicia said, that is not the paid version. That's not the pro version. That's how you're going to do it to dual stream if you're on the free version. If you've got the pro version, then you stream straight to Facebook from there. You can also stream to YouTube live, and I put a link in there. I didn't even bother going into that because you can just click the link and figure out how to stream to YouTube. If you're not worried about people anywhere accessing your content, then go YouTube as well.
Naima says, do you need insurance even if you find organic clients? Yes. If your clients, anybody that you're coaching is working out in their own home, you need to make sure in case they step the wrong way and twist their ankle and for whatever reason they want to take legal action against you, that you're covered. So you definitely need to make sure no matter what that you have insurance, and that most insurance for your studio will cover online coaching as well. So just call and make sure that it does.
Yeah.
Okay, what about videotaping the workout and then having people sign up for a specific time to watch it?
If you do that as a replay, you can, I mean, I would do that through a webinar software, just because that sounds like it would be the easiest way to do it. I don't know, there might be another way to do that as well, but you could definitely do that.
So yeah, Jen, is there a reason that you don't want to go live? Because I think it's so important right now as you transition to go live. That's the whole point. Your clients want to see you in real time, or your coaches in real time. You want to give them every opportunity to maintain their membership. If you're videotaping and now all of a sudden you're not providing the same level of service, that's like, oh, hey, you know, I want to put on my membership on hold until we're ready to get open again. So you really want to cover your bases. You want to do everything you can to serve your clients at the same level and above. Yeah. So can we talk about accountability and how you hold your clients accountable? Are they still signing in for classes? How often are you checking in with them? What does that look like?
I check in with my clients every day in general, and that's what we use our Facebook support group for. And I mentioned earlier that I'm still getting everybody to sign up on Zen Planner for classes, so I can plan, because if I know that, okay, well, this person's got a shoulder issue, what I've got here is not going to work, I need options. You need to be planned. So you need a plan A, you need a plan B, and you need a possible plan C. Just have all of those ideas in the back of your head. When you are doing your workout and you've set your camera up, you figured out your angle, what I do is, I'm just going to show you quickly, just because it's just popped into my head to show you this, is that I will tape my workout right there, right underneath my laptop, so that when I'm looking at the screen, when I'm looking towards the screen from back there, you can't tell if my eyes are down on the list of exercises or up here. The last thing you need is to be fiddling about, I know I've forgotten the exercise, so make it simple for yourself. But check-in wise, if I don't see people on Zoom a couple of times in a row, I'm going to send them a messenger, or I'm going to tag them in a Facebook post. Hey, just checking in. Were you able to do the workout on a replay? That's all you need to do. You just need people to know you're not forgetting them. Tag them in the posts. Put in some of Alicia's social media content. I've still got a couple of years worth of your content, and I still use those for engagement, and tag people in the post. Hey, what was your favorite part of the workout? Oh my God, didn't those pike push-ups suck? Anybody else think they sucked? You know, just be real, just be you who you usually are, and get them communicating, because they're going to need you more than ever right now.
Absolutely. Now, for some people who run larger classes, how are you watching all of the form, and how many people do you usually recommend being in a class at a given time?
You're going to have a much harder time, honestly, because like right now when I shared my screen, and if I'm looking at this right now, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got like 35 people on the screen. You're going to be doing this up to the screen, and everybody's going to see your eyeballs, and if you've blown your nose, and so you can change the view and how many people you see on the screen at a time. I always cap my classes at a small number. That's just the way I operate, because I can see, 10 people at a time, and I can have a look at that. You might want to consider, this is where you're going to have to use the replay option, or having more than one coach and maybe a couple of laptops set up. If you do have a couple of coaches, you can have one view on one laptop, one view on another. That might be a way to do it. It's going to be much more difficult, but if you've got large classes and it's just you and you're a Group X instructor, you're not going to be able to look at every single person, every single round, and make sure that they're doing everything right. So it's just going to be the same way you would already do it. Just make sure people understand that, and even give them a preview. So one of the things I've done for my online programs is I always upload these are the things that you need to do in every workout. So talk about posture. Talk about what hinging at the hips looks like. Talk about how you really engage that lumbo-pelvic hip complex. Talk about what your knees should look like. And it's a requirement that everybody watches that before they do their live workouts. I've always done that for online coaching. And then you can say, remember when I mentioned in the video to roll those shoulders back and down? You're giving group cues without watching everybody, and you're not going to be able to. So this is not fail safe, but people know you're there, and that's what they need. And they can always click the button to raise their hand, so you can come directly to them and answer a question.
Perfect. Perfect. Christopher had a really great suggestion. And yes, absolutely. Just like your clients watching at home can plug their laptop in and watch you on the big screen, you can also plug your laptop in,
very true.
and then you can have a lot, like, obviously you'll be able to see everyone a lot better. So that if you have that technology available, and TVs are super cheap right now, so you can absolutely get a bigger screen so you can watch everybody more effectively.
Yeah. Somebody asked who the guy was for HIIT Strength. Dos Remedios, DOS REMEDIOS. I might have butchered his name, but he's fantastic. He's got loads of information out there. He's got a program as well, so I hope you don't mind if I plug him. It's called Chaos. And if you look at his Chaos program, it's going to give you some really great ideas. It's geared towards athletes, but if you coach athletes or you coach people that love HIIT style workouts and you're doing it outside, people are doing it in their backyards, you could definitely do stuff like that. And that's a really good program if you need some extra tips.
Awesome. I think we got to everybody's questions. Michelle, I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you available, like not 24/7, but if people tag you in the Facebook group with a question, are you able to answer some questions?
Yeah, just bear with me, because just like everybody else here, I'm shifting everything over. There might be a delay in getting to your question, but if you see a question asked and you know the answer to it, go for it, because you've already watched this. Please go ahead, do that. If I don't respond to you within 24 hours, tag me again. That's okay to do. I don't mind that. Please don't blow up my messenger though, because my clients are blowing up my messenger.
Don't be Michelle. Tag. You can tag me. And also our admins in the FBFF group are on it. If something's not answered, we'll try to address it as fast as possible. So Michelle, you don't even have to. So why don't we do this? Tag me in a question. And if my team can't answer it based on the information Michelle shared, I will tag you, Michelle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Because you have been so incredibly gracious with your time and information.
I hope it was helpful.
I think this answered a lot of people's questions.
Please don't overthink it. Really, truly, don't overthink this. This is so simple. It really is a couple of clicks. If you practice it a couple of times, you'll be in and out. You won't be fussing like I just did then. You'll be in and out. Get the pro version. Save yourself a headache of having to go through Chrome, especially if you don't know if you can do it through Safari. $15 a month is going to save you a lot, and you're going to have that ability to save to the cloud as well. So have fun with it though. This is a really great opportunity to have some fun, and you get to start working out with your clients too. So we all get fit and healthy.
Amazing. I love it. Michelle, thank you so much for being on. You guys, good luck with your streams. Take pictures and share them and let us know how you're doing with everything. Take action today. Like the second we get off this call, call your insurance company, print out that waiver of liability, get your test group going so you can practice. And then watch this video again if you want to go have Michelle go through all of that stuff again, because I think it's important to reinforce. But go, take action. Speed is going to be the key to your success. Good luck, you guys. You are rock stars. You are leaders. We're in this together. You've got support. Reach out if you need anything. And I'm sure we'll talk to you guys very soon. But have a wonderful day. And thanks for tuning in, you guys. Thank you, Michelle.
See ya. Bye.